Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am super excited for this video because it is going to be everything you need to know about the new Ensley Reign Underland Collection. We're going to be going through and doing some super up close overhead swatches of everything so you can really see all the shades and the shifts and the sparkles. We're also going to be trying everything on the face, doing face swatches, lip swatches, and just having a good time. So the only thing I can't tell you right now is the launch date for this collection. They have not announced it yet, but as soon as I know, I will let you know. I do also have an affiliate code with Ensley Reign Cosmetics, so if you are interested in purchasing anything from this collection, you can use my code AMYLOVES to save a little bit of money off, and I always really appreciate when y'all use my codes. It means the world to me, so let's go ahead and dive into this collection. Okay, so let's do a quick little overview of the collection. So we've got the eyeshadow palette here, the Underland palette. And the color story of this is so beautiful. Definitely a little bit grungy, a little bit spooky, but we've got so many beautiful, just very intense shimmers in here. I cannot wait to swatch. So this palette is going to be retailing for $70. We also have two new highlighters. This is going to be retailing for $14, and then we also have the Dreamless Multi-Chrome highlighter, and this is going to be retailing for $20. We've got the Distorted Dreams Face Duo, and this is going to be $18. It has a blush and a bronzer, and I did already take a sneak peek. I'm gonna have to swatch this and see how I feel. For me, this is definitely one of the most odd face palettes I've seen, just because the blush is so deep and rich and the bronzer is so pale that I just feel like I don't know who's gonna be able to use both of these shades together. Maybe if you like incorporate it as eyeshadow, but I just don't really love the duo. I would have rather seen, I don't know, I just feel like if you're gonna do a bronzer, you need to have multiple options. This is not gonna cut it. We also have a little mirror with the same packaging. I don't see pricing for this, but it has two sides. Try not to like blind you or anything. One side is magnified, so just something to throw in the purse. I don't know if this maybe only comes with the full collection, which you can purchase everything here together for $205. We also have 5 different pressed single shadows, and these are going to be $18 each. And then lastly, we have the lip trio. So if you want to get all 3 of them, it's $35, and if you want to buy them individually, they're going to be $13 each. You can see they come packaged individually inside. So if you wanted to like grab the trio and then keep one for yourself, give one to a friend or something, they do come packaged nice. Well, let's start swatching. I think I'm gonna start off with the lippies here, just pulling these out. Oh wow, that's so pretty. So this is like a super sparkly black plumping lip oil, and it is called Off With Their Heads. It kind of looks like it has maybe a little bit of a purple undertone to it. Let's see. Okay. Very interesting. I will definitely be doing lip swatches for y'all at the end, and I can let you know if there's like any plumping feeling on the lips, because sometimes that's a little too much for me. And then next we have the shade Underland. Okay, another spooky color. It's like this really beautiful, I think it's just a black lip lacquer. I like the packaging on these. Oh yeah, okay. I'm here for it. We've got Bonkers. Ooh, okay. So this is a lip velvet, and it just looks like the most beautiful mauve shade. That's pretty. That feels like a kind of like a velvety matte texture. So there are all the lippies. They do have a pretty strong scent to them. It's very sweet, and it kind of reminds me of the Kylie Lip Kit scent. Now for the Dreamless Multi-Chrome highlighter, this kind of just looks like a very golden, oh wow, okay. Super silky. It has a gold flip as well as some orange and pink. Yeah, look. You see how beautiful that is? Definitely very shifty, very creamy to the touch. Oh, that's beautiful. Here is the Moonlight Madness highlighter, and this one looks like a really sparkly green. For me, this is going to be more of an eyeshadow. See? like a greeny gold. Definitely still super metallic, super pretty. But I feel like if I was going to choose between the two, I definitely like Moonlight Madness the most. Going into Distorted Dreamland, the blush and bronzer duo. So like I said, this blush looks like a really rich, kind of deep berry shade. And this bronzer is a very soft, kind of yellowy tan shade. Very pigmented. So there's what it looks like. I will definitely give it a go. I'm gonna try. I feel like the bronzer is going to look really good on my skin tone, but the blush I'm going to have to be very careful with. For the single shadows, starting off, we have the shade Mind Melt. Looks like a really beautiful kind of silvery blue with lots of sparkles in it. Ooh, okay. Definitely a little bit more of a chunky texture, but hopefully you can see it is a holographic shadow for sure. Lots of rainbow sparkle in that. I love Ensley Reign singles. I think they are so underrated. Everyone raves about their palettes, and I get it because I love eyeshadow palettes too, but their singles are beautiful. Like, look at that. Wow. Next, we have the shade Sinister Slumber. Looks like a really beautiful yellow green shadow. Has a similar look to it. Oh yeah, it's like a little bit chunky, but at the same time, very silky. And it's got this beautiful green, gold, peach flip. Very metallic. Ooh. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then again, just like a little up close finger moment because I feel like this captures the beauty pretty well. Next, we've got Gloomy Glow. This is a beautiful yellow, green, teal, shifty shadow, extremely metallic, very, very smooth, foiled type shade. So to me, this is really beautiful for sure, but it does not stand out in my collection. If you have a lot of multi-chromes, you probably already have this exact shade over and over again. Even though it is really beautiful. I mean, that is so silky. And then hopefully there in the mirror you can see very shifty. Next we've got Haunted Hatter. This looks like a really pretty kind of antique-y gold. Okay, and then it has a very strong green and orange flip to it. Y'all are mostly seeing the orange right now, so give me a second. That's what that one looks like. I'd say it definitely has like a good little shift happening, but it is more subtle. And then lastly, we have got Painting the Roses Red. Oh my gosh, I love it. So this looks like another foiled multi-chrome with some red, some gold, a little bit more grungy. And there you can see has a super strong golden flip. So those are all of the new single shadows. Now jumping into the palette, I think I'm going to swatch all of these shimmers first. So we have the shade Wicked Wildflower. Okay, that is beautiful. It's a little bit more of a chunky shadow, but it has pink and green and gold. And it's just going to be like the most beautiful light shade to pair with this palette, because I know I like a grungy palette, but I still need to have my lighter shades, so I'm really about that. And then we've got the Red Queen, okay, which looks like a really beautiful kind of red orangey type shade. I would call this one more of a duochrome. We've got Surreal, which just looks like a really sparkly orange to green to gold multi-chrome. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Okay, I'm already swatching a little crooked, but that's okay. And there's what those look like in the mirror. Next we have Shatter Cooking Glass, which is one of those shades that has a bunch of different shadows. Kind of looks like a periwinkle with a little bit of a golden flip, but we definitely have to swatch that to figure it out. And then we've got Jabberwocky, which is a really beautiful, super grungy multi-chrome. I would say it has like more of a black base. It's got flips of really rusty red and green. We've got Shadowland, which is an extremely sparkly kind of deep teal. Ooh, wait, that mixed shadow actually turned out so beautiful. Wow. Okay, that has a strong shift, but I'm gonna need to show you in the mirror, so you know the drill. Okay, very beautiful. Lastly, for the shimmers, we've got Behead. This is another kind of grungy copper to green type shadow. And then we've got Chaos. That just looks like a true metallic green, no shift, no sparkle, just a pretty shimmer. Ooh, that's super smooth. Hopefully you can see that little shift right there. So there are all of these shimmers in the palette all swatched out. So the first matte in the palette is called Twisted Rabbit, and it just looks like a true white matte. We've got Nonsense, just a cool tone, deep brown. Cheshire's Curse, kind of just a very cool purple. So these do all feel really smooth to the touch. They might not look the absolute best in the swatches because my arm is already getting sick of me swatching and wiping it off. We've got Wicked Rose, which is a really beautiful like red tone brown. And then we have the shade Hallucination, which is a really beautiful kind of yellow toned grungy green. We've got Dreadful Dreams, a really pretty teal. And then lastly, we've got Rabbit Hole, which I would describe as kind of just a very deep kind of blue-based black. So there you have it. That is the whole palette swatched out. Let's go ahead and get this on my face. I think I'm gonna start off with Twisted Rabbit, the matte white, just to do a little bit of highlighting. Just gonna throw that underneath my brow bone. I feel like every time I use a matte white shadow to highlight, it just brings me back to, I wanna say like 2014, 2013 makeup. That was like my go-to. I think I'm gonna go into Cheshire's Curse. There's not any like super light mattes in this palette, but I'm just gonna use this pretty softly, starting off in my outer V, and then I can kind of blend it into my crease and diffuse it a little bit. Oh yeah, looks pretty. Don't even really know what direction I'm going with this look just yet, but I'm gonna try and use my favorite shades in the palette because there's definitely some that are speaking to me. I'm gonna grab a little bit of Nonsense just to add a touch more depth to the outer V. That's so pretty. I'm also just using a Singe Beauty E06 for everything so far. I'm grabbing just a touch of Nonsense on an E07 from Singe and just connecting what's happening in the outer V to the lower lash line. Kind of feeling Wicked Rose, just using that on the middle of the lower lash line for a little pop of red. I just realized I think I said this name was Shatter Cooking Glass, but it's Looking Glass. I'm gonna go into Shatter Looking Glass with my finger, and I'm gonna pop that on the outer half of my lid. Oh my gosh. It literally looks so beautiful. Part of me is tempted to use that all over the lid because it's just so pretty, but I also really want to go into Wicked Wildflowers. Just using my same finger, I'm not even like wiping it off or anything. And I'm gonna pop that onto the inner part of the lid. Ooh, it's like reflecting pink so much. Just kind of blend that together. Wow, okay, that turned out even prettier than I expected. I kind of want to go in with one of the single shadows for the inner corner. If you don't have these and you're just planning on purchasing the palette and you want to recreate this look, I would just use that same shade that I used on the inner half of the lid and bring it around, and it'll be beautiful either way. But I think I'm going to go into the shade Mind Melt, that holographic shadow. I wet my brush just a little bit and I'm going to pop that on the inner corner. Just a little pop of silver. Really quickly, I'm going to throw on the Lancome Teint Idole Mascara. I just looked at the time and I did that whole eye look in 10 minutes. I feel like it looks so beautiful. I love how it turned out so much. So let's go ahead and try out the face products. So let's see, we've got the bronzer. I'm gonna go into, oh my gosh, this brush is like super dirty, but my Nikki La Rose N15 from BK Beauty, just because it fits really well in this little pan. Let's see what it looks like. Definitely is kind of like a warm, like a yellowy undertone, but some of my favorite bronzers have that similar undertone. Oh, it's like blending really nice. Like the Charlotte Tilbury Fair shade, it's a little bit yellowish. Like I said though, my criticism of this little duo stands, even though it is blending pretty nice. So for the blush, I pulled out my Rephr 05 just because this is one of my favorite brushes for a blush that's really pigmented. So I'm gonna go in with literally just like the tiniest little bit. Okay, even that. Even that might be a lot, so I'm just gonna tap it off on my hand. Okay. It does look a little bit streaky. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, well, this side looks better. I just need to like get rid of all that product and then this side looks good. Perfect. So yeah, definitely not my like ideal duo. I think this would have been nicer if there were multiple options depending on your skin tone. Going back over this side with my powder, just trying to tame it down a little bit. I think that's the best I'm gonna be able to do right now. So I think we're gonna go ahead and try one of these highlighters on both sides of my face, just so you can see them both in action. So starting off with the Dreamless Multi-Chrome Highlighter, and I pulled out my Sigma Beauty Bird, like little highlighter brush. I just thought this would be a good fit for this formula. Well, actually, no, it's too thick. It's literally picking up nothing. Okay, I grabbed a Stinch E04. Maybe that'll work a little bit better. Okay. I mean, it looks pretty on top of the blush. And it does have sparkles to it, but I don't feel it's like, I don't know, I don't feel it's like emphasizing any texture really. Not too bad, not too bad. About as much as you would expect for like a really sparkly multi-chrome highlighter, but not bad by any means. It looks pretty kind of blended into the blush. And then let's go into Moonlight Madness. I don't think this is gonna work for as a highlighter for me, but it's here. It's marketed as a highlighter, so let's give it a go. Again, just picking it up with that same brush, just a little bit, popping it on top. Oh lordy, it's like turning purple and like muddy with the blush. It's just like kind of giving a green streak. Try and blend it a little bit so at least it's not choppy. Yeah, this one I think, like I said, it could be really cute used as an eyeshadow, but that's not my favorite look. I like this side. This side looks pretty. Let's do some lip swatches. I think I'm gonna start off with the Plumping Lip Oil off with their heads. Like I said, the smell is very intense, so if you're sensitive to scents, very sweet, very like cake-like. I think this is like pretty and grungy in a way, but not necessarily my personal style. However, I think this would be beautiful topped over any deep lip colors. It does feel really comfy on the lips, and I'm not getting any like tingly sensations because it does say that it's plumping. But yeah, I feel like I would really love this formula in a different color. It's going into Bonkers. I think this is gonna be my favorite. It's been so long since I applied a liquid lipstick. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling. Don't mind my lip line, but this is extremely comfortable, super velvety and soft on the lips. I like it. I really like this color with the color story of the eyeshadow palette. I think it's a fun pairing. And now Underland. I'm a little nervous. Oh no. What did I do? I did the best I could. I would say that this is super pigmented, super glossy, but definitely a little bit more messy just because it is very slick. I would highly recommend going in with a lip liner with this shade just for it to be a little more long lasting, for it to stay in place, because it definitely does move around. You're gonna have a lot of transfer with it, but it definitely is very fun. Alrighty y'all, so that is everything from the new Ensley Reign Underland collection. I hope that this video was helpful for you. Like I said, they do not currently have a launch date, but when they do, I will definitely update y'all on YouTube community tab and on Instagram, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye!